Carbondale. How are y'all doing out there? Monday morning, here we are. It's all right out. It's not super sunny, but not super gloomy. We'll get there, you know. All right, I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. You are tuned in now to WDBX 91.1. This is Talk of the Town, and I'm your host, Eva Fisher. And yeah, very excited to have you tuned into today's episode. Got some lovely guests with me, Elizabeth Sears and Skip Cosgrove. We're going to be talking about some wonderful holiday drives and ways that you can contribute to your community this holiday season. Before we launch into that, just want to remind you about some outstanding things going on. We will still be having our survey running that we've been working with Greater Egypt Regional Planning Commission on a stormwater survey. So we are, doing a larger comprehensive plan looking at stormwater infrastructure, and we need to know where in town people are experiencing urban flooding. So if you, we've been having some showers here and there, and if you notice spots that flood regularly, or maybe just, you noticed it once or twice, please go on to the City of Carbondale government Facebook page. At the very top of the page, we have a post pinned to the top where you can find this survey, and it's real quick. It just asks you which location you're at where you are seeing this flooding. If you are able to take a picture and send that in, excellent, that's even more helpful. And then the really fun part about this is if you take this survey, you get entered into a drawing for a prize. You can choose if you want to win a season pass to the Carbondale Super Splash Park, or a season pass to the Carbondale Science Center, or a membership to Warehouse Ultimate Gym. So yeah, it really does not take up much time at all, and perhaps could win a really great prize from this. So we really appreciate everyone who takes a survey. It's super duper helpful. And that will be going until December 16th. You have time until then, about a month still, to take the survey. And it's Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. I did an episode last week with Mayor Harvey and Nathan Cherry of Victory Dream Center. And we just talked about different pantries and soup kitchens in the region. So again, visit our Carbondale Facebook page. You can see where I posted info about that episode. And so you know how it's just kind of a roster of different places where you can volunteer, contribute, or if you need some help this time, if you need to get to these soup kitchens or food pantries, there's lots of awesome resources available here in our community. I know there's a big student food drive happening on campus today. So if you're able to get yourself over to campus, bring a couple canned foods with you and contribute that back to our students. Every little bit helps. And all right, we're going to talk about some more ways that people can donate. It's that time of year where people really start thinking about, giving back. And so I want to introduce my guest to you now. I have Elizabeth Sears here from the Carbondale Police Department. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I've got Skip Cosgrove over here. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for being here. So you two, Elizabeth, you work with the Carbondale Police Department, and y'all are getting ready for your Christmas store.
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our Christmas store program is held every year by the Crime Victim Advocate. This is my first year running it. So we try to serve at least 150 children in the community. Parents can sign their children up for free. They will receive a free brand new coat, brand new pair of shoes, and 2 toys. Awesome. We also here and there will have maybe some books. We actually got a great donation. It was anonymous. I wish it wasn't, but someone knit a ton of hats, hand knit. So we will be giving some of those out. And they can also have the option to get their gifts wrapped or take wrapping paper.
Awesome. How wonderful. And we're going to get into some more details about that, but I want to just introduce, I've got Skip Cosgrove here to tell us about the Toys for Tots.
Well, Toys for Tots is a national program. It began in 1947, And we here in Southern Illinois have been involved with Toys for Tots since 1992.
Awesome.
We serve 5 counties, and as of right now, we're up over 1,000 kids.
Wow.
And our registration goes till December the 2nd.
Okay. To be able to register for kids to receive gifts.
Right, they call
from
in
this
and they
program.
register, and once again, they get, we give up to 4 toys per kid, per
Mhm.
child. But that depends on what our donations are like. This year, our
Sure.
donations from the National Foundation have been really good, so we've been able to afford to give 4 toys per child.
Awesome.
So last night there was a record, we were bagging toys and putting them up, and one family had 11 children.
Uh-huh.
So that was a lot of bags of toys for one family, but when you
Yeah.
give 4 toys per child.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that fills Santa's whole sleigh right there, pretty much.
yeah.
Well, how awesome. Goodness, well, I love to see this, there's so many different variations of these sorts of things, but I wanted to bring you two together on here to talk about this today. I feel like, they kind of coincide, and they're ones that have been very visible in the community. I know that at City Hall, we have a box for the coat drive for the
Yeah.
Christmas store, and next to it, we have a box for Toys for Tots. So Elizabeth, with this Christmas store, I know part of it is the coat drive, the Coats for Kids drive.
Mhm.
And can you tell us a little bit about how that program works, where people, the kind of stipulations around what you can donate and where and when you can donate for that?
Sure. So we have boxes set up at the arena. So at home basketball games, I actually believe there is one tonight, if I'm not
Awesome.
mistaken. You can donate a coat when you walk in to the game. And actually, they are the athletics department has been great. They are offering an incentive for a free ticket to an upcoming game. With a donation of a coat.
Oh, cool.
So we have boxes set up there, and then like you said, we have boxes set up at City Hall.
Mhm.
And then people can also just bring them to the police department,
Mhm.
or honestly, if anyone is willing to donate and they can't get to any of those locations, they can always call if they can reach me, and I can work out whatever they need for that.
Yeah, awesome. And do these need to be brand new coats?
They do,
Mhm.
yes. And so we serve children ages 1 to 10
Mhm.
for the program, but kids come in all shapes and sizes. So we have some people that donate adult sizes
Mhm.
as well as itty bitties. So really any donation is welcomed and appreciated.
Yeah, awesome. And I know you mentioned shoes and toys along with this Christmas store.
Yes.
So where are those donations coming from?
So normally, just from, like I said, this is my first year running it. So
Uh-huh.
as far as I've been told, we really only do the drive for the coats. I do believe the Jackson County Courthouse has a box set up for toys that was recently put out. We, as far as I know, have not put out, a box or anything for shoes.
Mhm.
But if people wanted to donate that would be great.
Mhm.
I think, like I said, any donation is very appreciated.
Yeah.
The toys and the shoes would also have to be brand new, if
Okay.
anyone's thinking about that.
Cool, gotcha. Awesome. Well, I love that. That's so great, SIU's end to give
Yes.
those tickets for the games.
Yes.
How fun.
Yeah.
And then you can bring a friend and they can bring a coat and then they get a ticket and then
Right.
it just keeps on going.
Yeah, they've been wonderful. And to my knowledge, they've been, kind of been in partnership with that for quite some time as well.
Yeah, fantastic. And when does this Christmas store occur? When is the store open, I guess?
Yeah, so this year it's going to be the first week of December. Unfortunately, our sign up is closed right now because we have met our capacity.
Okay.
But I do encourage people to reach out next year around like October. This year, that's when we started sign up. So just keep it in the back of your mind. And anyone can call me anytime if they're wanting the information around fall of next year.
Yeah, fantastic. Yes. And like I mentioned, I wanted to have you two on to highlight these specific programs, but I see so many amazing programs in the works around our community. I saw over the weekend out at PK's, they have a box from the Survivor Empowerment Center collecting toys so that the children of victims who go to stay there can have some new toys to play with. And I saw at Schnucks they have a coat drive. It just said, you know, accepting coats, nothing too specific, and I think that they're accepting used ones as well, slightly used. So yeah, you know, I just encourage everyone to keep your eyes peeled for all those different offerings, places you can donate, or if you are needing some new shoes and coats and toys for your kids. You know, don't hesitate to ask. And I think you could probably reach out to Elizabeth here, reach out to me at the city, and we want to guide you the best we can to have the warmest, merriest holiday season. Skip, I would love to hear about how you got involved with Toys for Tots. I know they kind of call you the Carbondale coordinator
Yeah,
of the Toys for Tots drive.
I guess the best way to describe it, they got roped into it. No.
Yeah, that seems to be how these things go.
Well, it's you know, the Marine Corps Reserve started Toys for Tots, and like I said, back in 1947, and I'm in the Marine Corps League detachment, a local detachment,
Okay.
and our detachment is integrally involved with the Toys for Tots organization. We kind of sort of sponsor it and provide a lot of the volunteers for it, and then we have a women's auxiliary that's for the detachment, and they are also integrally involved. And so I just, there was a need, you know, so you know, people that volunteer other places tend to volunteer just in general, you know, so I started volunteering, and it was slow at first, you know, just helping to move toys from one location to another, and then it grew and it grew and it grew, you know, and so now I'm spending on the average of probably 6 hours a day on it.
Wow.
You know, maybe longer, you know, it depends.
Yeah. And when do you kind of get started in the year getting everything together for
Officially,
Toys for Tots?
the Toys for Tots drive starts in October, but here locally we start late October and 1st of November, and we really kick it off. That's when the boxes go out, and even though it's a little early because people don't really think about donations until after Thanksgiving.
Right.
But we want to get it out there in front of them, so to remind them, you know, that, hey, we're going to be looking for donations from you. The community is incredibly generous.
Yeah.
There's such a demand, not only for toys, but for coats, like Elizabeth is saying, food, you know, people are, we're right across the street from the Victory Dream Center, so
Okay.
our location is, and so there's a demand, but there's also, so far, there's been the generosity from the community that we've been able to meet that demand. One of the proudest things is we've never had to say no.
Awesome.
To anybody who requests.
Amazing.
You know, I was saying, we had a family last night, 11 children.
Right.
Pretty big. That's a lot of kids, and it turned out to be a grandma that had custody and had a lot of foster kids also. You know, so she was doing her civic duties, I guess you could say, by taking care of so many kids that need it. You know,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome. And you're right, this community is, I mean, I take such great pride in being here in Carbondale. It is such an amazingly generous community. You know, you see so many wonderful nonprofit organizations who are putting in really dire work. And then, you know, organizations like this, and seeing the police department putting in this really generous work, and the Marine Corps, and all of it. And then the people who aren't affiliated with any one organization really coming together for so many different things. And you see so many of the same people showing up time after time for these different events. So thank you everyone listening who's out there volunteering and donating and running these nonprofits and doing all the amazing work that Carbondale does. So Skip, how many people are on your team that help organize Toys for Tots, I guess in this local chapter?
Well, there's a national, or there's a program, what we call a campaign coordinator, that reports to the SIU, or not SIU Foundation, the National Foundation for Toys for Tots. So she's the primary contact point for us. right now, if you were to go over to our building, there's probably a half a dozen people that are bagging toys and taking phone calls and things like
Mhm.
that. I've got 2 guys that are out collecting toys this morning, and as soon as I'm done here, I'll be out collecting toys also.
Yeah.
And then, but there's a myriad of people who volunteer. Some people can volunteer for an hour a day, some people volunteer for 5 or 6 hours every day,
Yeah.
and including the weekends and
Wow.
at night. And there's groups that wanna come and volunteer to either bag toys or collect toys or whatever task needs to be done. And, they can't come during the day because they're working, so we set up, times in the evenings during the week where they can come as a group.
Okay,
You know,
great.
Women's Rotary Club and those kinds of, there's fraternities and sororities this year we've seemed to had a lot more volunteers and donations than we have by this time in previous years.
Awesome.
So everything is kind of like positive perspective right now. Yeah, it's
good.
good.
That's wonderful. Man, I love being in this job so much because I get to talk to so many people and be privy to so many things going on. And it never ceases to blow my mind how involved these sorts of things are. Like, all right, you think Toys for Tots, you drop off the toy in the box, the kids magically get it. But no, it takes so many people and so many hours
Right.
to coordinate all of this. It's really quite incredible.
And if it wasn't for the volunteers not only donating their time but their personal resources,
Mhm.
it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just would not happen.
Now, where are the primary spots people can donate?
Well, primary spots, when you talk about boxes in Carbondale themselves, we have over 90 boxes out in Carbondale. We have many
Wow.
banks and professional offices and
Uh-huh.
grocery stores and insurance agencies and restaurants, and they're just all over the place.
Great.
And some of them are available depending on what the store hours are, or what the professional office's hours are. But I think if you think of places like Walmart, TJ Maxx, where they sell toys,
Mhm.
those are, of course, our primary targets, because that makes it easy for a donor to pick up a toy and just drop it in the box.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some places, of course, they have their employees, they do like a little toy drive in their own, in a professional,
Mhm.
a dentist's office, a doctor's office, a chiropractor's office, a vision place,
Mhm.
so they're in a lot of places, automobile dealerships,
Yeah.
you know.
Great. Oh, I love it. I would love to ask you guys, Elizabeth, I know that you are, this is your first year getting to
Yes.
organize this. And Skip, I know that you've been organizing this for many years.
Yeah, I've been at it for about 15.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, you're at very different points in this journey, but I would just love to hear your perspective of what does doing this kind of work mean to you?
I think that what this does for the community is invaluable.
Mhm.
Not tooting my own horn at all, because this program has been going on long before me. But just these programs that take the time and, like you said, the resources and the people volunteering their time and energy to make it happen. Just to put toys under the tree for people, that experience in itself is just think very important. I think it's very important for the overall morale, and being able to give that to the children, I just feel like can really make such a difference. So I think that without these programs, holidays would be pretty sad.
Sure.
And it's, I think we can all, we've all been there in one way or another where, you don't feel like you're doing enough, or, you might dread the holiday season coming up for whatever reason, life experiences or, financial reasons and things like that. So I think these programs being in place can really help, take that stress off of some families and then, replace it with a positive.
Yeah, I love that so much. And yeah, just reminding people that, people care. Like, you're not alone. And like you said,
Yes.
everyone has faced some hardships at the holidays at some way or another. It's not an easy time, it's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's hard too. It's a lot to get through.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's so great. I love to hear that perspective.
Well, I have a little anecdotal story that might maybe drive that point home.
Yeah,
It's,
please share.
One of the probably the most satisfying situations and circumstances is when we have someone who comes up to us to donate, whether it be monetary or a toy, and they'll say, if it wasn't for Toys for Tots when I was a kid, I wouldn't have had any Christmas.
Wow.
So right now, we have 2 students that are volunteers, that are social work students, that were in that boat,
Yeah.
you know, and so they want to give back,
Yeah.
you know, so that's what makes it work.
That is so awesome, that full circle. And showing that it's like, all right, that did something for them when they were young. That made them feel special. That inspired them. That made them feel connected to their family and to the community.
And it was memorable for them, you know,
Yeah.
the last, whenever that age, now that they're, you know, young adults, and they still connect with it.
I love that so much. That's really special. And yeah, kids are so incredible. Kids are so resilient and so grateful. Like I'm sure that these kids are just so happy to receive whatever toy that they do over the season. I love that so much. And I love with the Christmas store that the police department does, also the autonomy and independence that it brings, you know, that people get to sign up and they get to come in and shop for their kiddo. They get to pick out what they think their kid wants.
Right, and I like that they call it the store, because, you know, so a parent can come in and pick out a brand new coat that they're like, my child would love this. You know, there's, with the donations, people donate, you know, all sorts of coats from all sorts of different places.
Yeah.
And it gives them, you know, a lot of options. And I mean, toys are great, but also having a pair of shoes, a brand new pair of shoes and coat to wear, you know, something that's practical.
Yeah.
That's something that I feel like a lot of people take for granted.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. And kids get excited about that too.
Right.
It's fun having a
Who
new
doesn't love a
fancy
pair
pair
of
of tennis
shoes?
shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, so, you know, while you're out there shopping, please keep these programs in mind. It's never too early to start, like we're hearing Skip talk about. Yeah, they're already out there delivering toys. That's incredible. Are you already like delivering to the families, or you're just getting everything prepped
what
and
I was
ready?
talking about, that example I gave was, once somebody calls in to sign up their children, and they're within that age bracket that we work with, which is 6 months to 12 years, then what we have to do then is take the toys we get donated after we sort them and so on, and then the volunteers come in and they put them in bags based on that registration.
Yeah.
And the bags are stored until the distribution date of those particular registrants, you know, comes up.
Yeah.
So we start on the 7th of December disseminating toys, but that's not here locally. That's over in Harrisburg or Benton, because we do 5 counties. And but then locally, we do on the 21st, we do the Carbondale distribution, and that's the largest distribution that we do.
Yeah,
Last
cool.
year it was 3,650 kids or something like that.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of numbers. I love it. Oh, I wanted to mention, we have our annual tree lighting coming up. The Carbondale Holiday Tree Lighting. It will be on December 4th at the Town Square Pavilion from 5 to 7. And there'll be cookies and hot cocoa and pictures with Santa. And we'll also have a box there where folks can bring coats for the Christmas store with the Carbondale Police Department. And I'm sure we could shimmy over a Toys for Tots box over there as well. And you mentioned December 7th is when you start delivering. That's the Lights Fantastic Parade,
Right.
everybody. So make sure you got that on your calendar. And hey, if you want to register your band or your float for the Lights Fantastic Parade, that is still an option. So excited for that. That's our biggest event of the year. But awesome, you guys. Well, this is so great. We got a few minutes left. Is there anything else we haven't touched on yet with these programs? Or just kind of the work you do at large that you see this help in the community you want to share about?
Well, I think that, you know, if you have a community that has a population in it that feels like they're being supported, and feels like there's somebody out there that cares for them, I think that goes a long way in the health of the community.
Yeah.
You know, and if you think about it, you know, some people don't even bother to think about it, but if you think about your past life, how people have supported you, it's just you give back.
Yeah.
It's just a full circle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I'd just like to say thank you for anyone who does even consider donating, even if it's, you know, they're hearing this and it's not in the works for them this year, but maybe next year. I can't stress it enough. I think it makes all the difference in the world to families and to children in this area.
Absolutely. And yeah, I love that you said, you know, even if it's not in the works for you this year, donating just your energy and awareness to it is huge too. You know, if you can't find it in your budget, which we know that is tricky for lots of people, if you want to share a post about it on your Facebook page,
spread the word.
or if you have a flyer in hand you want to drop off somewhere,
Yeah.
you know, that goes such a long way. Absolutely. Awesome, you guys. Well, it sounds like you've got a lot of work cut out for you still. I still am just blown away, Skip, by these numbers of how many people that you have helping.
I
Just
still got a little energy in the tank, but
Yeah.
It'll be gone by the time we do the last distribution.
I'm
you know.
sure. Well, it's crazy to think like that's just in Carbondale, this region that you're talking about. This is a
Yeah.
nationwide program. So
800 Toys for Tots campaigns in the nation.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I would love to see those stats at the end of the season of all the toys collected and all the
They've
kids
given- I
served.
can tell you some.
Oh, please do.
In the 75 years that Toys for Tots been in existence, in 2023 they distributed 67.7 million toys to 301 million kids.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's incredible.
And let's see, I was trying to figure out. Nationally, 10.3 million to 301 million kids. You know, and that's a lot of toys.
Yeah, that is.
You know, and we're really fortunate here. The City of Carbondale has really supported us
Mhm.
and provided a building for us to lease at a reasonable cost to be able to operate out of.
Yeah, great.
And some people don't have that.
Mhm.
They rent units and store stuff in it in the off season. Then when it comes time to start the Toys for Tots campaign, they go out and they have to find a building to operate out of. You know, and that would add another dimension that I don't care to experience.
Yeah, well, good. Well, I'm so glad that support is there, that infrastructure is there. That really does make a big difference, it seems. Well, goodness, thank you two so very much. I so appreciate your time and your energy, and thank you for this awesome work you're doing in our community.
Thanks
So-
for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, and thank you all so much for tuning in today. I hope that you have just a wonderful rest of your Monday. I will get this show posted on our Facebook page later, so go give us a follow over at City of Carbondale Government on Facebook to stay up to date with what we're doing. All right, everyone. Well, thanks again. We'll talk to you next Monday.